Hi everybody, okay, so I'm back with another K-drama to see, have you already seen it, and if not, is it something that you would check out? So before we get into this video, you already know the drill. Like this video, follow me for more, and share this with someone you know that would be into K-dramas and would potentially check it out. Okay, so let's get into it. The name of today's K-drama is called Hyde, Jekyll, Me. This K-drama currently follows the life of a first-generation chaebol named Gu Sojin, and currently Gu Sojin keeps a heart monitor on him, and he tries his best not to exceed 150 beats per minute. One day, Sojin is actually visiting or inspecting a property that's owned by his family, and it's actually an amusement park. And as he's walking around with his entourage, he essentially sees people running and hears them screaming, and so he's kind of like, what's going on, why is everyone running away? And when he really pans in and focuses, he notices a gorilla is chasing after the crowd of people, but when the people kind of disperse, the gorilla continues to pursue after a woman. Now this woman runs towards the direction of Sojin and grabs his arm. Now him panicking tries to push the lady off. The lady is holding on for dear life because she's terrified, and so what does he do? He actually bites her arm to get her to let go, and then shoves her down and escapes, and he demands his entourage help him climb higher so that he can escape the gorilla and be safe. So among the chaos, a mysterious woman comes out of nowhere and kind of shouts out bing bing, and then the gorilla changes its course of direction and starts charging after her. Now everyone's panicking, and that's when we notice Gu Sojin's heart monitor is going higher at an alarming rate at that. And finally the gorilla leaps up in the air and jumps towards the woman, and her and the gorilla are hugging each other, and everyone's like, huh, like what's going on? So come to find out, this woman is actually the new circus ringmaster, and she's known that gorilla since she was a child, and since that gorilla was, you know, like a baby. So the gorilla and her are like this, they're locked in, so she's really not worried. Like the people are running because, you know, maybe they angered the gorilla, but that's not our girl's problem. As it turns out, it seems that the reason that Sojin was actually looking around the amusement park is because he had a dream in which there were a bunch of balloons, and a disco ball at one of the event halls almost fell onto a woman, and surprisingly he dove in, pulled the woman out, and protected her. Now in order to prevent him having to do such effort, he says, you know what, this is just what we're going to do. We're going to go around the amusement park, we're going to make sure that we get rid of all balloons, and we're also going to look to cancel the contract that we currently have with the circus there. Now of course the new circus master is not too happy about this, and this new circus master is actually the young woman that we saw earlier, and her name is actually Jang Hana. It's around this time frame that we learn that our main male lead, Gu Sojin, actually has DID, or dissociative identity disorder, and unlike the previous K-drama of Heal Me, he only has one personality, and that one personality goes by Robin, and he's kind of like, I would say he feels like it's his job and it's his responsibility to save people, which is the complete opposite of Gu Sojin. So Robin actually runs towards danger. It seems that he does have a hero complex, which again is completely the opposite of Gu Sojin, who is ultimately only trying to make sure that he is safe and that he is well protected. One day, our new circus leader is actually trying to talk to Gu Sojin about renewing the contract and extending the contract. She follows after Gu Sojin, who seems to be heading to a hospital that is also owned by his family. Like, bro, just how rich are you? So she gets to the hospital, and he actually demands his security, or tells his security, hey, don't let her pass through. Our girl, refusing to take no for an answer, actually, you know, walks away and acts like she's leaving, and then she scales the building and then tightropes across and enters someone's office. Now, entering that office, what actually happens is she's stumbled upon a crime scene, and as she walks in, she kind of notices a woman lying unconscious, and this woman appears to be a psychiatrist with broken glass near her head and blood on the ground. And so she's getting ready to go closer to this woman to examine, to find out like what's going on. But the culprit is still in that office, and the culprit actually lunges at Jang Hana and tries to like strangle her. Now in this fight, you know, to not get unalive, she reaches over, grabs the scissors, and gets him right in the shoulder. And after she does that, she kind of runs out, and the culprit is, you know, running out after her. Now Gu Sojin already got off the elevator onto this floor, and he sees her, and he's kind of confused as to how she beat him to this floor when, girl, there's only one elevator. And then he sees the assailant running after her. So what does he do? He runs back to the elevator, starts pressing the button to get on the elevator. Then he's quickly pressing the button to close the door, but he's not closing it in time because our girl actually sticks her arm out and says, help me. Now, what does he do? He shoves her out of the elevator way onto the ground, and then pushes the button rapidly until the elevator closes. And as it's closing, we see the assailant grabbing her, and I guess it looks like he drags her to like the roof area where he starts strangling her some more. And in the process of doing this, Gu Sojin comes running out of nowhere, pulls the aggressor off of her, and in that process she starts falling over the building, and he then dives down after her. Why was Gu Sojin at this hospital to begin with? So it turns out that the doctor that was unconscious in that office was actually his psychiatrist. And the psychiatrist had actually called him and said, hey, I found a cure for your dissociative, identity disorder, which I don't believe there is a cure. Don't quote me. But you know how K-dramas go, they tend to sell unrealistic dreams, and that's just what one of these are at the moment. Okay, so that's the reason why he was there. Now, the person that actually saved Jung Hana was not Gu So-jin. It was actually his other personality, Robin. Now, here's the twist. It seems as the story progresses, we learn that there is a correlation between Jung Hana and Gu So-jin. Jung Hana seems to also have taken a liking to Robin, whom she was introduced to. Now, this assailant that hurt that psychiatrist, trying to unalive her, he's not gone yet. He's actually still lurking around, trying to find a moment where he can get Jung Hana alone so that he can finish the job. But it looks like this assailant isn't working on his own, and there is another person on the back end who's controlling the strings of this system. And so, as you're watching the K-drama, you're ultimately watching Robin doing his best to try to protect Jung Hana while fighting with Gu So-jin's personality, or, to take over the body to ensure that he's able to protect her. So you really just have to watch this K-drama just to kind of see, who is the person responsible for trying to unalive our main female lead? Is, Gu So-jin ever able to be cured of his DID? Does Robin, do the people that know of Robin ultimately find out, who Robin really is? And if this is a K-drama that you've seen before, definitely let me know in the comments how you felt about it. If you haven't, definitely let me know if this is something that you would check out. But as always, thank you so much for watching. Okay, thanks, bye.